This program is brought to you by Simulus Clothing, official title sponsors of Formula Virtual Racing. But wait, there's more. Check out the official Formula Virtual Racing merchandise line out now exclusively to Simulus Clothing. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the program.
He's going to show us now!
And a big good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Formula Virtual Racing. We are here this evening for the penultimate round of the season, the penultimate round on the F123 game, and things are getting intriguing. Yes, in terms of the championship, it can be wrapped up this evening by a man who has a glaring absence on the timing column on the left-hand side, Legend Rosenberg. Unsure whether he'll be in attendance here this evening, and that gives a fabulous opportunity to this man to go back to back to back, or certainly to get closer to that feed. A lot of work to do for Luke Davies here this evening if he wants to keep in title contention. No Tyler Davison here this evening, so he will be taken out of it. But we'll be talking through more of that later on in the evening with, of course, the man alongside me. Brendan, how are you keeping?
Doing alright, thank you. Obviously, the moment, chance for this championship to come a bit closer. This is, obviously, if this would be providing Legend Rosenberg isn't in the car in time for the race. But with 2 rounds to go and championship gap that's about 35 points. Luke Davies could do well here to take a win, because it would very much chop down that gap by a bit, and even in the case where if something was to happen next week, he could, well, maybe with a bit of luck, get a 3rd championship and put himself level with Rosenberg.
Yes, that would be truly something else. I believe Luke actually got impeded on his first lap there. I think I just caught that in the corner of my eye. But it's going to be Adrian Tissue sets the initial banker. Usually quite good around this Red Bull Ring circuit. One man very good around this Red Bull Ring circuit. And, of course, the home favourite, the Austrian of Enzo King, goes to second. He's beaten by Avesta Bali, the first man in the 103s. And Tim Den Hire goes to fourth. Niels Hartl does have a qualifying suspension, so he'll play no further part. There goes Alessandro Serretti, the Swiss native, making his debut here this evening alongside Liam Houseman. It's raining, Brendan. It is raining here in qualifying, and Luke Davies is on an invalidated lap time. He could be starting at the back of the grid.
Yep, he could very much be in trouble here. This is the last thing he needed. And that impeding might have really cost him, and I'd assume then somebody is not going to be in Luke Davies' good books. Oh, that car is not happy. It is not happy.
Well, Luke is going to continue going here. Hopefully he has enough fuel. He's certainly got 0 battery on board. Liam Houseman has come towards the start-finish line. He has one of the cars in front of him. That has impeded him a little bit, but it's kind of just a race, really, to get a lap in. Houseman, not very happy at all. Very much venting his frustrations to Adrian Tishy there down the main straight. Let's keep an eye on what Davies is doing. He probably has the worst conditions here on track, and it doesn't look like he's an awful lot of fuel on board or ERS, but it's a 20.1 in the first sector, which in all honesty, considering the situation, is rather competitive. Connor Rochford for the Red Bull team goes to 3rd. Remember, Red Bull, more likely than not, will be crowned Constructors' Champions today here in their own backyard. Rochford just needs to avoid being outscored by 33 points by the McLaren team, which, considering the max is 38 or something like that, it's very difficult to... He just needs 5 points, pretty much. Here comes Luke Davies, then heading for the Worth curve. It's a 51-1 in the middle sector. Honestly, this is a great lap from Luke Davies, and I suppose his mood is just very much dampened, because Legend Rosenberg has just joined the session, meaning it's more likely than not he will be able to wrap up the championship here today. But the only thing is, both Luke Davies and Legend Rosenberg, as Luke trails into the pit lane, will have to start from the back of the grid.
Yeah, I suppose they're both going to have to try and make up a few places. But for Rosenberg, this is the better situation, really. He is 35 points ahead, so very much Davies has to gain today in order to keep the championship alive, rather than Rosenberg having to gain to seal it. And obviously with no Tyler Davison here either, it's very much just a straight shootout between these two once again.
Can I just say, by the way, you know the way they say you got to have a fast start, really, when you're making a debut? Alessandro Serretti, I think, will take pole literally 10 minutes after joining the league. I think that's the first time that's ever happened, because even Thomas Main, who took the first ever pole in FVR, was in it longer than that. Fair play to you, Alessandro Serretti, the first Swiss man ever to take a pole position in Formula Virtual Racing, because even with Legend Rosenberg in the lobby now, he won't be able to beat it purely because of the rain. No one retiring, though, other than Liam Houseman, which indicates to me that maybe there could be a bit of a dry patch on the way.
Yeah, the interesting thing would be, would that dry patch be a little bit slower, or could it just be right back to where we were in the very first few laps set? It's very much the rain came quickly enough, so I'd say maybe 1 or 2 drivers got in the laps. They would say were well, the best they could have done for a first run, but most of these drivers probably are a bit off their usual times.
Well, we're hearing that it's going to dry up in about 10 minutes' time, so we could have a one-shot quali come the end of the session. There will not be a dry line, because, well, if it's going to dry up in 10 minutes and there's 11 minutes on the clock, we physically won't have enough time to have a dry line. But Liam Houseman might have jumped the gun a little bit by retiring. He obviously doesn't feel there's much improvement. There's actually someone coming out on the circuit here. There's a couple of pointsmen coming out and directing the cars out on track. That's a Haas. And that is one of the Alpha Tauris, I believe. Well, there is only one Alpha Tauri, so that'll be Habib McCook. I will think that is Enzo King probably coming out on the circuit. No, it's actually the opposite. Nathan Marriott is coming out for a little bit of intermediate testing. You usually don't see that. Could that indicate maybe some rain in the race as well, Brendan?
It's very much a possibility. I think we can check for it. Just out of interest.
No rain in the race, so Nathan is out for a bit of fun. I can respect that.
Suppose giving us maybe B-roll footage for the future.
Oh, yeah. You know what? Let's turn all the graphics off. Let's have a bit of B-roll footage here. This is going to be very useful for me in future intros. Just imagine a bit of dubstep or something over this, or even maybe even a bit of Just Drive from Lightning McQueen from Sheryl Crow. Yes, fabulous B-roll footage. Thank you very much, Nathan Marriott, for that. But great qualifying from Haas if we don't get another run. They'll probably be almost raging that we will have another run, because 4th and 5th is a really good starting spot for them, especially for Enzo King, who home Grand Prix, has won it once before in very precarious conditions. He would like almost this sort of conditions in the race, but it doesn't seem like we're going to get them. Habib Makouk also out on track as well. He does not really want this to remain for the rest of the session, as he's almost out looking to try and improve on his dry run on the intermediates. But Legend Rosenberg out on track as well. Can I just say I'm almost disappointed that it's going to dry up at the end, because I think Legend starting 15th, Luke starting 16th would give us an absolute belter.
Yeah, it would be the perfect setting for some very good action, but seems like we could get something very nice in qualifying too if we do have these two going out desperately trying to set laps before they just maybe at the last possible moment so that they get the best track conditions. But yeah, obviously 8 minutes, it would take a bit. Would want to start drying up soon enough, I'd say.
There's more cars actually coming out on track now. I'm surprised how many drivers are willing to risk their cars, because usually if this happens in Formula 1 you see nobody going out because they don't want to risk their cars, especially if, you know, there is going to be a dry stage coming up soon. You would probably expect that that the drivers will not run the risk, but they clearly are. Legend's probably even just out just to install a setup. Luke is coming out as well on the intermediate, so they're clearly looking for a bit of wet running for whatever reason. Habib Makouk just looking to get out of the beach on the exit of turn number 3. That's Remus that he's heading through. 7 minutes and 45 on the clock. We're at an intriguing stage of qualifying here at the Austrian Grand Prix, where everyone is out on track pushing, but nobody will physically be able to improve upon their time.
Yeah, very much. It's just going to be people going around just to maybe learn a bit. Honestly, Rosenberg and Davies will want to compete a little just to see who will be in front on that 8th row. So I suppose we'll see. It'll be Legend Rosenberg and Luke Davies battling for P1 plus 14.
As we do see also Nils Hartl, who's out of the session. Morris Stumer does have a qualifying suspension as well, so he's out of the session, meaning Luke and Legend literally are competing here to not take the wooden spoon. They're also right beside each other on track. If Luke was feeling brave, he could brake check Legend and just send them off the road. He would also very much receive a race suspension and potentially season disqualification, but that's something that matters afterwards. Let's see who goes quicker the intermediates then. Maybe even a little bit of psychological warfare at play here with 6 minutes and 30 to go in the qualifying session with the Season 12 Austrian Grand Prix. You can see Legend just behind Luke there as Luke Davies is running for the final corner now. What lap is he going to set? He's going to jump up to 15th, and Legend is going to beat him. So Legend takes at least the mental game win here in this one.
Yep, looks like 1-0 Rosenberg. Let's say, this grade looks very, very interesting, particularly with Conor Rochford, P3. He's been kind of waiting for that big result all season, but it just hasn't quite come round. Like, it's all very not like decent results, but not that big result. He's looking for a lot of, he's times in P4, P5, P6. That's very much been his territory, but now maybe P3, obviously 2 championship contenders at the back. There's pretty much a rookie in this league, P1. Very much would be a good chance to get that big result as the kind of season's been looking for.
Yeah, we haven't had a surprise winner really, other than that Leroy Vincendel Saudi Arabian race, which he did inevitably get taken off him through Stewart's count. But yeah, we're looking for a big surprise winner. I'd love that to be today, really. I think the season deserves one. Very clever from Legend and Luke to head into the pit lane here, because with 5 minutes on the clock, if it does suddenly dry, you want to be ready to just go out on track. No hesitation, just get straight out on the circuit and start pumping in lap times. You don't really want to be in a situation, say, where Conor Rochford is now. Obviously he still has plenty of time, but say it was about 3 minutes on the clock and all of a sudden it starts to dry up and you're about halfway through the second sector. You're leaving yourself open to not getting a final lap in. So it's a clever approach from Legend and Luke to to head into the garage. Great lap that as well by Alessandro Serretti is to set a 103.6 as Adrian Tisci is out of qualifying, so he'll play no further part. But great lap by Alessandro there. 103.6 under that pressure is quite impressive. So it'll be interesting to see if he gets another lap in what he can do. But as of now, Brendan, honestly, it's not looking like it's going to dry up.
Yeah, even with Austria, where it's very much you can get multiple laps in this time frame, but like it's just not going to dry up. It's not going to dry up.
Yeah, Austrian Grand Prix as well, especially this area, would get a lot of rain, 600 metres above sea level, 60% of the Styrian region in the forest, including the 4.318 kilometres Red Bull Ring, formerly the A1 Ring, of course, would definitely experience a lot of rainfall. Maybe not as much this time of year. I know it usually is scorching temperatures for the summer race, but sort of your Januaries, your Februaries would be a lot of snow, a lot of rain, and we're experiencing that here this evening. Julius Gassner has decided to do donuts on the exit of turn number 3. No idea why, but he clearly has something to celebrate. Puzzled I am. You are definitely puzzled at home. And they're not very good donuts either. Why you would do them that close to a barrier and on the grass is beyond me. If you're going to do donuts, surely the best place to do it is probably on one of the exits like turn number 9 or turn number 10 where there's a lot of runoff. But nonetheless, he's opted for an obscure place to do donuts. Ironically, the place where Valtteri Bottas pulled off to retire, I believe, in the 2018 Austrian Grand Prix in a Mercedes. But Julius, fair play to you. Definitely could be reprimanded for dangerous driving if we were that harsh, but overall, I'm not sure. He doesn't want to block the Alpine here on the lap. That is Kyle. That's Kyle Albert, who is definitely judging him at this very moment in time. This is now a Tomater impression from Gassner.
Oh my god! I think Kyle is nearly just slowing down just so he can look at the car directly and use the car to judge him. Following him. Oh god.
Welcome to Formula Virtual Racing, folks. He's clobbered into the barrier. This is probably the most screen time Gassner's actually got this season as well, which doesn't say an awful lot, but now he spun it. This is 2 rounds to go. This is 2 rounds to go in one of the most intense Formula Virtual Racing seasons of all time, folks. We are reversing down the back straight at the Austrian Grand Prix and doing donuts with 1 minute and 30 left on the clock. It's not going to dry up in time for quicker runs. Congratulations, Alessandro Serretti. You have taken your first FVR pole.
Oh, yeah. Well done. Oh,
yeah, well. Oh, that's actually the other Mercedes. That's actually Khan who's gone into the wall.
Oh, so that's just actually a...
So it's a team issue.
Oh, God.
I think that might be the most cinematic shot ever. Khan reversing out of the wall, and in the background you just see his teammate reversing around turn 6. That might be the best. Oh no, what's going on here? I think we've all just about lost it in synchronization.
I suspect Kyle has been looking at this and just slowly losing faith in humanity. There's something he probably already has done. Done as have I, but...
I mean, I don't understand what Kyle is doing either, to be brutally honest. He's not much better than the two of them. Oh, he's now too... Oh, well, what would we do without moments like this in FVR? It goes to show that, although they kind of like to crucify each other in the stewards' room from time to time, there is some good moments. And they're both going to start another lap, which means we have to endure this pain for a lot longer than we already have.
Yeah.
Oh no, as the clock strikes 0, Alessandro Serretti is on pole for the Austrian Grand Prix on his debut. Legend came out in the slicks to give it a go. Championship leader Legend Rosenberg is starting 15th, defending champion, and the man looking to keep that title alive, Luke Davies, starts 16th position. what an opportunity this is for Vestigo Badi to get his per season win on the board as well.
Yeah. Oh my. I have to say this one of the more memorable qualifying sessions.
Definitely. But we do have a good race coming up nonetheless, folks. It is Sereti on pole, then Gobadi, Rochford, King, Marriott, Den Heyer, Houseman. Then it is Yoshi, Albert, Dulger, Bune. Then it is Tishy, Gassner. Then it is Habib McCook, Rosenberg, Davies, Hartle, Van Schendel, and Morris Stumer. Folks, we'll have the more serious Austrian Grand Prix coming up after a short commercial break. This program is brought to you by Simulus Clothing, official title sponsors of Formula Virtual Racing. But wait, there's more. Check out the official Formula Virtual Racing merchandise line out now exclusively to Simulus Clothing. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the program.
He's going to show us now!
And welcome back to a more sunnier Red Bull Ring here for the Austrian Grand Prix. We had an extremely eventful pole. It is Alessandro Sereti and Vestigo Badi who lock out the front row. But Brendan, who wins this one?
Honestly, this might be one of the races where you have to let it play out. I don't think we can place a winner on it just yet. A debut win would be very, very poetic. But usually, something is just, you don't usually get all the luck in one race. You get some, but you don't get all.
No, usually it is very much a race of attrition sometimes, this Austrian Grand Prix. We can get plenty of overtaking, plenty of moves. Both Legend Rosenberg and Luke Davies have to work their way through the pack. Remember, if Legend fails to be outscored, if Luke Davies fails to outscore Legend Rosenberg by 13 points, Legend will officially become a 4-time FVR World Champion. Red Bull need to avoid being outscored by 33 points if they want to wrap it up here on home soil. We are on the grid with 5 red lights as we go racing here in Austria. There's a little bit of a connection issue for Enzo King, so he's going to lose places very quickly on the start. But it is Alessandro Sereti who leads into the Niki Lauda curve for the first time. Tinden higher on the outside of Nathan Marriott. Further down the order, we have Habib McCook who's gone round. Legend Rosenberg has gained 4 spots in towards the first corner. Luke Davies has also gained 4 spots in towards the first corner. The Red Bull way out of shape here, heading in towards Remus for the first time. The Sauber of Liam Houseman going side by side with Tim Den Heyer as well, and that's Leroy Van Schendel, who's falling a little bit down the order. Rosenberg looking to try to get past both of the Williamses in towards turn number 4. Luke Davies looking to get past Morris Stumer. They're both ramping through the field, and that is a very good race start for Alessandro Sereti, who leads by 0.4 of a second over Vestigo Badi.
Yeah, it's looking not too bad for our debutant so far. He's done the job there. Gabadi, not a bad position.
Oh, Stumer gone round into the wall. That's a front wing clipped off from Morris Stumer. He's just completely lost it on the exit of the Worth curve, and that is him round. We do have a virtual safety car, I believe. Yes, it is a virtual safety car. not for Avesta. Oh no, sorry, Avesta just with a bit of Avesta internet issues, I believe. Did pass Alessandro Soretti, but he is behind for now. 1 second lead, very comfortable for Soretti. Let's have a look at your tyre choice. Davies went on the softs, Rosenberg on the mediums. Davies not going to be too happy with that fast start for Legend. He is your biggest gainer through the field, up 6 spots to 9th. Fabulous first lap for the Dutchman.
Yeah, it's not too bad for Houseman, I'll say. But this race start, let's see, Luke be wanting to get past the pair of this Williams pair very, very quickly, because his best chance of keeping within this championship fight is by following Legend through and maybe taking advantage of an opportunity that arises, but that'll never happen if you've constantly got cars in between himself and Legend.
As we go racing once again, virtual safety car is into the pit lane. Alessandro Soretti, little bit of a slow start, but still has a 7/10 of a second lead over the Ukrainian of Avesta Gobati. Tim Denhire might be looking to get past Nathan Marriott. Kyle Albert on the soft tyres, he's one to watch in this opening stint. These guys on the mediums will try to get to about lap 18, would be the ultimate goal. As that is going to be Adrian Tishy, who'll hand a space to a few guys. He's come into the pit lane, but he's actually made a meal of it. And he has just hit that grass on the left-hand side. So Tishy, bit of a poor entry into the pit lane for him. He's dropped down a couple of places, will drop even more with that pit stop. Up the hill then for the third time. I gotta say, Denhire looking really racy behind Nathan Marriott. But further on, Legend Rosenberg looking to try to get past Can Dulger. Big lunge for Rosenberg. Oh, and he's actually, I think Legend might have just tipped around Liam Houseman there for a second, but does lift off the gas. Lets Houseman go back through. But honestly, Legend genuinely broke about 50 metres later than Can Dulger for that corner. I'm not sure if that was Can breaking early or if that just goes to show how committed Legend is to breaking late in towards turn number 3, which could come back to haunt him late race.
Yeah, it's come back to haunt him. Well, see, the more you do it, the more chance something happens. And that's Van Schendel gone round again. They had a bit of a half spin on the first lap, and they got damaged. I'd like to see the off-board shot, but we're very much not getting the one we want.
No, we are not. We're about I don't know, we're about 200 feet in the air maybe with a helicopter camera. Van Schendel, just to report, if you're wondering why he might be off the pace here, he's just off the back of an hour and a half endurance, didn't he? Yes, yeah. He does have a front wing clipped. So Leroy Van Schendel will be into the pit lane to change that front wing. The Alpine not having a great start. There goes Rosenberg past Liam Houseman for 7th position. Houseman just going to concede the spot, I believe. Great start for Legend, really good start for Legend, as Luke Davies is in a Loctite battle with Boyashi, and he's been shoved onto the curb there. Davies does know it's a long race though. He knows there'll be a safety car probably at some point, so Legend having this fast start isn't affecting him too much. Boyashi, big lunge down the inside. Davies is going to try the up and under. That's a well executed switch back from Lightning Luke Davies, the double world champion, proving his class in towards turn number 6, and he's going to hang it the long way around the outside. Well done, Luke Davies, that's an excellent move.
Yeah, that's the important thing for Luke Davies. Just needs to keep pushing through, because Rosenberg isn't that far, but he just probably would need, unless someone like Kyle Albert to basically try shut up shop here, because usually Kyle Albert would be the type of driver who could do that and would be inclined in that way to very much just keep his place.
Avesta almost getting some airtime through the Nicky Lauda curve. He had a great entry, gained a lot of time on Soretti in front, but then hit sort of that yellow sausage curve in the outside, and the front of the car kind of lifted a little bit. I'm not sure again if that's just sort of an internet issue for Avesta, but certainly there was a bit of airtime on that car. Legend Rosenberg, is he going to go for it on Kyle Albert? Kyle, oh my goodness me! What wings is Legend running? That is like a rocket ship. As Adrian Newey started to build FVR cars, my word, that's Luke Davies! That is Luke Davies round! And he has had a big moment here, heading through turn number 4. I'm not sure if you called that one, Brendan, but certainly Luke's race is going down the drain.
Yeah, I caught not the full tip of that instant, but it did not look like the best place to be for him. So now 14th, Rosenberg 6th. Previously, this title is pretty much Legend Rosenberg has won, and well, probably 4 fingers and 90% of his palm on the championship trophy at the moment. All he has to do is just get to the end of this race and it'll be both hands, probably. but you just never know sometimes.
He could lift it one-handed as well. You never know what Legends, I suppose, trophy lifting form is, as that is...
Sauber
Yeah.
ran into the back of Borbu.
He's lost a couple of spaces there as well. That'll allow Borbune to maybe launch an attack on the Austrian of Enzo King. Down at 11th is Enzo. Certainly was a lot quicker in qualifying. Is Borbune going to be able to make a move? No, he isn't. And Liam Houseman getting past Can Dolger as well. So Houseman 8th, Dolger now in 9th. Kyle Alberts a little bit up the road, 2.9 up the road to be exact, in front of Houseman, and then a second off Rosenberg, who's almost on the back of the leaders already. He is on the back of the leaders already, as he's right on the back of Tim Denhire now. The man who he won the Constructors title with last season, Fahas, was himself a Denhire who took that crown, or some say it was Legend who took that crown, and Denhire just sort of fed off it. But Tim has been very good this season. I'd say even better than that championship winning position. There goes Avesta Gobadi past Alessandro Soretti. That's the first swap for the lead. Remember, Avesta Gobadi was battling for the lead until the final lap last season, where he had a massive blunder in towards that exact corner and sort of lost the win. So this one's going to swap and change for a while, folks. It's not dead set at all. This is Marriott then going for third. Nathan onto the podium.
Yeah, so good race for Nathan Marriott so far, and looks like Roberts does seem like Legend Rosenberg very much having his way in this race, and it could be the fourth title that finally separates him from Lewis McWilliam, as he missed the opportunity for that last season thanks to Luke Davies. But this time around, it seems like he's going to be able to throw this up for the final race. Just something he would have thought he could have done last year, or last season, but it never occurred that way.
Anytime Legend has been brought to the final race in a championship battle, he has lost. He's been beaten. He doesn't want that omen to be cast over him again. There goes Rochford back ahead of Marriott. There goes Alessandro Soretti back ahead of Avesta Gobadi, and quite crucially, the top two are in a world of their own now. They've broken the DRS to Rochford and Marriott. Brief yellow flag in the middle sector. I believe that was for Adrian Tishy. Just only a brief yellow flag though, so he didn't spin or anything. Maybe just ran a little bit wide. It was a little bit slow through one of the corners. Here's Liam Houseman right on the back of Cam Duggar. He's looking to make a move on the Mercedes down in towards turn number 4. This is the Schloss Gold corner. But no move there for Houseman. He'll stay behind. Interesting battle this between Dulger, Houseman and Yoshi. Certainly some interesting battles across the field. But you still wouldn't doubt the 3-time world champion. Even though he started in 15th, even though he's in 5th and still has 5 cars to pass, you really wouldn't consider anyone else for the favourite for this race.
Yeah, you have to say this is very much Rosenberg's race to lose, even if he started 15th and is in now it's just still 5th. Oh, and looks like you get another spot there, because it seems to Marion very much a little tentative coming out of that corner, but now he's got the straight line speed. He's back up to 3rd. Looks like Rosenberg will be trying to get that 4th spot, and he's got it done round the outside.
Yeah, he does. It was his teammate Conor Rochford who may have lifted off there, but in all honesty, I don't think he even would have had to. I think Legend had that move done way before they even exited the corner, so great move there from Legend Rosenberg. He now has to get past Nathan Marriott and then just catch 2 seconds up to his good friend Avesta Gobadi, and of course the new rookie on the block, Alessandro Soretti, currently leading after 9 laps here on his debut in Formula Virtual Racing. What a feat that is. But still plenty of time to go. We know how these races can be won and lost in a matter of seconds. We saw Luke Davies, who was cutting through the field nicely, then had a moment. He's now been buried down in the depths of 14th for a couple of laps. We know how things can change so quickly, so you can't rule anything out at this early stage.
Yeah, obviously this Austria, chaos does happen here. And also you got a yellow flag, that is Luke Davies. He's lost a spot, but I don't think this really happened in a way. It's lost a bit of time, but honestly not sure what happened there.
There goes Legend Rosenberg up the inside of Nathan Marriott. It's another easy move for Legend. I'm not sure if he's just making it look easy or whether these guys are moving out of the way from him, but certainly it could be either. Here's Nathan Marriott going for the outside. Legend almost with a bit of a thankful weave to Nathan. Nathan's there like, hold on a second, buddy, I'm fighting you for this one. And that fight won't last much longer. It's a huge tank slapper out of the Schloss Gold, and now he's going to be fighting with the second Red Bull of Conor Rochford. They needed to be not outscored by McLaren by 33 points here today, Red Bull, if they wanted to win the title. McLaren aren't even scoring a single point as it stands. They're currently 3rd and 5th. It's all but done for the Austrian team.
Yeah, it is pretty much game, set, match kind of situation. I'd say Nick Davies has not been able to do much at all since that incident. Whether he's carrying damage or something, I'd want to say. This is the kind of race of nightmares, though I would say it is kind of even worse than the Netherlands race in season 6. Because I think at least then it did come up and did pretty much get the best result he could have had. But this is very much was moving up, got sent back down, and now can't really get back up again.
Bit of a battle here for 11th, it seems to be Enzo King. Oh, that was Paul Bune rejoining the track, so clearly ran a little bit wide there, did the Dutchman, one-time Constructors champion as well, just like Tim Denhar. He won his alongside Luke Davies, though, not alongside legend Rosenberg. But still, nonetheless, he is trying to get past Enzo King, who is ahead now, and they're actually catching this battle for 8th between Cam Dulger, Boriyoshi and Liam Houseman. So there's a Rhino train now for 8th position, and this could be a very feisty fight until the end of this race. Sorry, Brendan, you're gone all fuzzy again. Apologies for that. Hopefully that just resolves itself like it has. But in terms of this battle for the race lead, it is Alessandro Serretti 0.2 of a second ahead of Vesta Gobadi. They're kind of just managing this race from the front. This is Cam Dulger and Boriyoshi who are side by side. This is the battle for 8th we are talking about. It is the Dutchman of Boriyoshi who's ahead of the Turkishman of Cam Dulger, and now Enzo King is looking to launch an attack on the Alfa Romeo of Liam Houseman down in towards the left-hander. There goes Enzo King, almost ahead of Liam Houseman. Can he get the job done here? No, still side by side. In towards the next corner. Houseman has the inside, Enzo King on the outside, and Liam Houseman will stay ahead for the time being. But can Enzo King get the up and under? No, he can't. Great racing between these two. Very respectful driving from both. Liam Houseman stays ahead. No, you're completely gone now. We can just hear noises, unfortunately. So hopefully we can get Brendan back with us now. Luke Davies has actually pitted onto the hard compounded tyres. He's got to run long in this race, but he's now stuck behind Maurice Stumer, who he's got to try to dispatch effectively. Maurice did just stay ahead, and this is a very, very bad predicament for Luke. If he wants to try and get ahead of Maurice, he's going to go for it down, maybe into the Rinth curve. No, bit of a late manoeuvre there for Maurice Stumer, and he will not be able to get ahead. Luke is going to have to get ahead in towards the first corner maybe here, because now he's got Niels Hartl right behind, and Luke has actually just lost down to 17th position. And here is Luke, still on the outside of Niels Hartl, in towards the first corner. Oh, Maurice way wide for Maurice Stumer. Luke Davies now does get ahead, and that is now Maurice Stumer, I should say, down, and that's Liam Houseman round. That is Liam Houseman, who is in an all too familiar sight and is rejoining the race circuit down in 13th position. It was looking like a great race for Liam, but unfortunately, what seems to be the inevitable has come back to bite him. And now Brendan has completely left us now, so we can't even hear a muffled Brendan, just a complete gone Brendan. So unfortunately, hopefully we can try and get that issue resolved shortly. Luke is in 15th now, 8/10 of 8/10 ahead of Niels Hartl in that battle for 15th. Here's battle for the race lead. Gobadi thought he was going for that one in towards the first corner, but no, not quite. Here is Legend Rosenberg. He's ahead of Marriott, now up to 3rd. Marriott was keeping with Legend Rosenberg, and those two up the top are extending that gap. But it would not matter not as of now, because Luke needs to outscore Legend by 13 points. He's currently in 13th, not scoring 13 points. So Luke would need a podium here, and it doesn't look like he's going to get that one.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it.
As lap 15 of 36. We're coming up to the second half of the race. We'll see a lot of pit stops coming soon. Great stint this from Kyle Albert on the soft tyres. 6.1 alright to Timpton higher. He's slowly being caught in by those behind, but still been a great stint nonetheless here in 7th position. And if he wants to try and stay in 7th position, he might have to consider a pit stop soon, because those mediums are definitely better than the softs at this time. That's a yellow flag, and it's for the Alfa Romeo Liam Houseman, who was spun exiting the Worth curve. Honestly, at this point, you really just feel for Liam, and that's Maurice Schumer, who is stuck at that same corner. The German has gone round and will rejoin the circuit in 19th. Unfortunately for Liam and Maurice, it's just been a season of that, pretty much. They have unfortunately made too many mistakes and cost themselves too many times, and I imagine this will be Liam done with this race. It will. So Houseman is out of this Grand Prix. So Brendan, you're going to have to leave and rejoin if you want to try fix it. It won't fix magically, unfortunately, as Maurice Schumer retires from the race as well. So we now have 2 drivers out of the Grand Prix, Maurice Schumer and Liam Houseman, and you can see Kyle Albert is now into the pit lane to try and put himself on a sort of a very aggressive strategy here for Kyle Albert to see if he can get up the order. He's going onto the medium tyres. They can certainly go to the end of the race. They might be feeling a little bit worse for wear once they get to that point. And honestly, he's going to come out ahead of Luke Davies here. So Luke is really not in a good spot in this race. He is on the worst tyres to be on, the hards. He's also way behind even Kyle Albert, who's in 7th, let alone Legend Rosenberg, who's in 3rd. He'd need a safety car to come back into this one. He'll keep soldiering on until the end of the race. We know that about Luke. He's a never give up sort of attitude, but he's down in 13th, and honestly, it's looking like this will not be the day he defends his title, and he'll have to go again next season as it stands. Top 2 into the pit lane, though. This is... Oh, Alessandro Soretti into the pit wall! That is a big, big moment for Soretti. Has the Swissman received from wing damage? He entered the pit lane a little bit too hot, and he may have just picked up some damage. Is it all okay? Oh, it just about is, I believe. He's gone into the hard compounded tyres, as has Avesta Gobadi, and Avesta will be ahead of Alessandro Soretti. That is a big moment for him as we see this battle for 8th sort of soldiering through. They'll want to get out in front of it. There's a Haas behind. That's Nathan Marriott who comes into the pit lane. Do they get ahead of this battle? No, they don't. Boyashi is ahead of Avesta Gobadi. Kandulger is ahead of Alessandro Soretti, and he's got Enzo King on the outside heading down towards turn number 3. Is King going to try dive it down the inside? He's not. He'll stay behind Soretti, but Avesta Gobadi is certainly in a fight here with Boyashi to the outside of the corner. Gobadi gets a great exit ahead of the Dutchman of Boyashi. Yoshi now tucked in right behind. Soretti gets ahead of Cam Dulger, so Alessandro cutting for the field nicely. He's going to dive down the inside of Boyashi. That's a very clinical move from Alessandro Soretti. That's a beautiful move as well at that. He's made sure that he will not have a car between himself and Avesta for the slow section of this track, and he is up and ahead of Boyashi. Great moves there for Soretti. Definitely no wing damage as well, just going by his speed through the corners. He's got away with a big mistake, has Alessandro Soretti, and that could have been a very costly one as they do all pull to the right hand side to come into the pit lane. Enzo King carries on, and that's a big error for Borbune. Big error for Borbune. Had a huge slide heading into the pit lane, I should say, and that has cost him a lot of time. Brennan, are you back with us?
Is that better?
You're still a little bit muffled, but we can hear you. I will just I'll just turn up your volume a little bit, and then hopefully it's bearable.
Okay.
As no, you are still really muffled, but there's not much we can do. Legend Rosenberg staying out here for the long run. He's going to go for a set of softs to the end of the race, I think, ahead of Avesta Gobadi and Alessandro Soretti, as Can Dulger and Luke Davies are fighting. Can is on a fresh set of hards, Luke on 6-lap old hards, and the former teammates, the man who was the number 1 driver last season, has just been outdone by the former number 2, as Legend Rosenberg is into the pit lane. Let's see what tyres he goes for. It's going to be a set of the hard tyres, so he's just going for sort of a fresher set of tyres, not going for a fresher compound. So that's going to be his point of the attack. Enzo King lets Nathan Marriott through. Haas could really have a car on the podium here. I know Enzo's not come into the pit lane just yet, but definitely a car on the podium prospects. Connor Rochford jumps his teammate as well in the former Legend Rosenberg. And Legend will have to cut through the field once again. Brendan, I've just heard something. Are you back with us? Oh, there's a bit of static, but we're getting somewhere, folks. As lap 19 out of 36, still 3 tenths separating Gobani and Soretti. I think it could be between these two for the race win. 5.1 behind to Nathan Marriott. As hello, Brendan.
Is that better?
It's slightly better.
Kidding. Even this, my own headset won't work.
Oh no, there you go, there you go, there you go. You're back now. We have you.
Okay, that's perfect then.
Oh yes, wow, yeah, that's much better. As lap 20 of 36, we see Liam Houseman bow out of the lobby. He did retire a few laps ago after a couple of spins, and unfortunately for Liam, it's another race where he thought he had podium ambitions, and he just can't deliver, unfortunately. It's very disappointing, honestly, at this point for Liam, as we do see Connor Rochford jump past Enzo King. So Enzo going on the long run here. Maybe not helping him, but that is a yellow flag. That is Niels Hartl, who's had a problem into the pit lane. Rochford been shoved to the outside here by Enzo King. King all elbows out here at his home Grand Prix. He feels like he owns this circuit, and certainly with actions like that he does. Connor Rochford not able to get around the outside, and that is Enzo King staying ahead.
Doesn't look like he'll stay ahead for much longer. As it looks like Rochford got the full car ahead. That's the important thing, otherwise the inside would have been Enzo's. And now you see Rosenberg very much wants to get that spot back as soon as he can. Is he not? Oh, very, very, very tight squeeze by Enzo King there. He looks
look
like
at
Enzo wants
that.
to get to the pits.
Yeah, that was all elbows out there for those two. And that is Enzo King getting very feisty with the triple world champion.
Yeah, I honestly thought Enzo King was looking for the pit lane, but he stayed out. So you'd wonder if maybe he thought it just wasn't worth that the hassle really to get in that lap, even if it's maybe you could get undercut by some other drivers.
This is going to be I thought there was going to be a move for the race lead there between Avesta Gopadi and Alessandro Soretti, but no, Avesta does just stay ahead for the time being. There's going to be a swap of the Red Bulls. Legend getting ahead of Rochford, but I think that was more a team order than anything.
Yeah. So I'd say Gopadi, this could be the race he wins this season. Then we just say, look, it really just shows he has the pace to be a contender, but will we ever see him put it together? Obviously, he did win in round 2 in Italy, but the rest of the season's been a combination of low attendance and maybe subpar finishes. But you see now, the debutant decided he's not done yet. He's took the place.
Yeah, there is Alessandro Soretti, who's ahead of Avesta Gopadi, and he's into the lead of this race. The Swissman wants to win this. That's a yellow flag for Niels Hartl just into this sector, so Avesta won't be able to go past, otherwise he will be given an illegal time penalty. Niels does pull out of the way. He's now a lap down. Julius Gassner is into 9th. Very nice for Julius. The German is up into the points.
Yeah, and that'll come up with, that'll be another position gain once Enzo King finally decides the pit lane is where he should be. As the Timden higher here is very much going to be one to get past, and I would say to Enzo, just whatever you do, watch how you go into the pit lane.
So that is a yellow flag. I think that's just for Niels, who is slowly sauntering into the pit lane. Oh, Julius has just been given the commentator's curse. He's picked up a 3-second time penalty. There goes Enzo King. Oh, I've just got that Timden Higher reference. There goes Enzo King into the pit lane. I think that was all safe, as there is another swap for the race lead. I think these could be swapping around again. They do have 6.3 back to Nathan Marriott. Enzo is clawing in, or sorry, Legend is clawing in on on Nathan, but I imagine Nathan is going to give him the fight of his life to try and keep this podium. Enzo coming out in 12th on the set of the softs, could definitely go for a fastest lap attempt, but definitely still get some good strong points. Luke Davies is into the points, but remember, to keep the title alive, he has to outscore Rosenberg by 13. Which is very, very difficult. Here's Cantor to the outside, and there's a nudge. That is Davies pushing Dulger over the white line, and Dulger has been given a penalty for his troubles.
Yeah, I think Dulger won't be happy about that one anyways. He's very much thinking, I want to get past Luke Davies on track. And then see if he's going to remove that warning afterwards.
Oh, safety car.
Oh,
Safety car is out. Nils Hartl is the cause. Let's try catch that one. Oh, he spun it. He spun it into the wall, and that is Nils out. Connor Rochford dives into the pit lane. I tell you what, if you're Luke Davies, you are thankful for that one, because you're back in position here. Surely, if you're Luke, you have to pit. There's almost no questions about that. Enzo King is living the high life. I can tell you that for free.
Yeah, well, he could have stayed out, and it would have worked out okay.
It's a win-win, really.
Well, he's got to... Yeah.
Luke locking the rears, making sure he will not hit that Williams in front, because that would have been an all-round disaster. As it's going to be a set of softs to the end for them all, presumably, and because there's so many pitting behind, Luke won't lose too many positions. Connor Rochford, what a position he's in. Fresh set of softs, everyone in front of him on old tyres. This could really be a good result for Rochford to seal off an excellent season for him.
Thing hanging over him is that penalty, but
he got that really early on. Is that a 5 or a 3? Let's have a look and check. It's a 3, so that usually means it's deserved, as the front guys are still going to come into the pit lane. Marriott is in, Rosenberg is in, so I think they're still going to get out ahead of Connor Rochford here. So maybe Connor's not going to be in as good a position as we initially thought, as Luke actually went for the mediums, not the softs.
Yeah, there is a bit of a split between them. It looks like the top two have went that way. Yeah, it's very much people are split in terms of what tire.
Connor's been held by the Delta. That's awful frustrating, because it was looking like he was going to blast past those, and he's been held there by the Delta. He'll still be in fourth. He'll be ahead of his teammate, but I imagine there'll be a bit of team orders there. Legend has also gone for the mediums. Vesta and Alessandro Soretti have gone for the mediums. Nathan Marriott has gone for the softs and has a clean slate in terms of penalties. Maybe, just maybe, the British driver could have a say in this.
I think very much will have a say in the immediate restart, but the question then would be, after the first couple of laps, where will he be? Because that very much will dictate how much he falls down, because if he ends up moving up, it'll be much more difficult to drag him down, but if he doesn't move up, then I'd say he can fall down very easily.
If you're just joining us, folks, what an excellent time to do so. Austrian Grand Prix, 2 titles on the line, lap 25 of 36. We have a safety car out just to make things more dramatic. If you're wondering who that is in second place, that's Alessandro Soretti, the Swiss driver who is brand new to the FVR field, who's excelled in his first performance. He took pole in a rain-affected qualifying. Oh, and he's just nudged the back of Vesta Gobadi, getting very close to the Ukrainian driver in front. But he's driven well, has been leading probably most of this race, I'd say, but he's in second behind Gobadi. Running through the order, it is Gobadi, then it is Alessandro Soretti, then it is Nathan Marriott, Connor Rochford, Enzo King. No, not Enzo King. That's not the first time I've made that mistake today. It's Legend Rosenberg, then it is Tim Den Heyer, Kyle Albert, and then it's Enzo King, then it is Julius Gassner, then it is Bor Yoshi, Luke Davies, Can Dulger, Bor Bune, Habib Makuk, Leroy Van Schendel, and Adrian Tishy. I'm not sure if the safety car will be in this lap due to how far behind Adrian is.
Yeah, I don't think it will be. Obviously, Austria, short enough track, doesn't take too long to get back up to get to the back of the queue. But yeah, I'd say it'll be in. We have to wait here for a little, and obviously every lap under safety car helps the soft runners. So we could very much see something. I'd say both tyres are equally viable, but obviously it would just nearly depend on driver preference at that point.
Remember, folks, as you can see on your screen now, if you're interested in sports car racing, we have the FVR Gran Turismo Championship, which is underway. We had last night's round at Laggio Maggiore. Big congratulations to Rami Azam, who took the Tier 1 win. A fabulous driver is Rami. And a big congratulations to Tim Den Heyer, who took the Tier 2 win once again. Purely because I was missing. No, it was a great race from Tim. Currently 6th here in the F1 Championship, doing great in the GT Championship. If you want to join the GT Championship or the F1 Championship, you can join via the Discord link in our description, I believe. Get yourself up there, sign up, and have a ball. Remember, FVR GT Championship, 2 tiers. We have some of the best drivers worldwide, and Tyler Davison, and we have live streams on YouTube and Twitch. Sorry, Tyler, I just know he's watching.
Tyler was very disappointed.
Yeah, he got second last night, so great performance from him once again. Could be leading the championship, actually. I haven't quite seen the standings yet. But in terms of our championship here, it's going 2 ways, and that's 2 championships that are going 2 ways. As of right now, Legend would be the Drivers' World Champion, and Red Bull would take the Constructors here in their own backyard. Luke needs to have probably the best 9 laps of his life now, because he needs to outscore Legend by 13 points. Do you believe in miracles, Luke Davies? Because by God, do you need one?
So if the Legend gets caught up in chaos and he can benefit from said chaos, which is sounding like something that's happened more once or twice in the career of Luke Davies in FVR.
Or so someone claim, as
Yeah.
Vesta and Alessandro swapping and changing in front. To be fair with Luke Davies, he's had his share of luck. He's also had his share of bad luck, and I think some of the bad luck may be today. We're not sure how Luke ended up down the field after he got back up to about 9th place, but it was a sort of spin of some sort heading through the Scottish Gold. Vesta Gobadi was in the situation last season where he was going for the race win in the final lap, and he lost it. He's in a situation now here on lap 27 of 36 where he is in control of this ahead of a new debutant, Alessandro Soretti. He'll get the race down on the way, and we go racing once again here at the Austrian Grand Prix. Great restart from Gobadi, not a bad one from Soretti, but maybe not as strong as Avesta, who's controlling down the front. We go line astern in towards the Niki Lauda curve for the 28th time out of 36. The 2 Red Bulls are going to probably swap in towards turn number 3 of Remus, even though Conor Rochford is on the better tyres, but how can you deny the mighty Legend Rosenberg? Luke Davies already getting the spot past Boryoshi, and we see Can Dulga with a huge lunge down the inside on Boryoshi. The other Bor looking to capitalise on this one on exit, but that's a great move nonetheless by Can Dulga. Boryoshi on the outside, still looking to keep 2 by 2. He won't. Maybe that's just due to the tyres, as we see Rosenberg is ahead of Rochford. We see Bor versus Bor in towards the Slosh Gold. It's certainly not Bor Ring as they go side by side down towards turn number 6. It's going to be Bune 12th, Yoshi 13th, or is it, as Bune just has more grip? Is he able to hang it around the outside? No, funnily enough, Boryoshi stays ahead.
Yeah, it's important things, just keep that position, particularly for someone like Boryoshi in the mediums. He'll be able to benefit later on in this race if he just sticks where he is. And you see now, well, Rosenberg has made the tyres work. So his aim is just try clear Nathan Marriott if he can. And if he can do that, then this win very much is on.
Here we go, 0.2 of a second separating Alessandro Soretti and Avesta Gobadi. And it might be time where these two no longer work together and they start scrapping for this race win. But they got to remember, Legend Rosenberg is in 4th spot and still hunting them down. But he's got to try get past Nathan Marriott first, who's on the soft compounded tyres. Nathan may not have better pace than Legend Rosenberg, but he has all the parameters in his favour. He's got the better tyres. Not necessarily. Oh, he does actually have the better battery as well. So Nathan really in a good spot if he wants to try and take a podium here. Another man doing well in the GT Championship would look to pick up a podium here in the F1 tier. But as it stands, Legend Rosenberg and Red Bull would still be both champions.
Yeah, as it stands, it is very much heading their way. I'll say Luke Davies will Want to just get past over as soon as possible. Very much. They're on the same tyres. They're very much exact same weight. Whoever's ahead is in the better position. But you just see there, both doesn't have quite have enough there, but now would have the chance maybe. Looks like he's going to use a little bit of VRS he's got left, and he's going to left, and are we just ahead? But was Albert try to fight this back? He is.
Oh well, it was a swap for the race lead there as well. Alessandro Soretti gets past the Vestigobati and Legend Rosenberg, gets past Nathan Marriott. Here's side by side between Davies and Julius Gassner. Not a fight Luke expected to be fighting today. One Zauber's very thankful that he's fighting in towards the right-hander. Luke just breezes past. There was a bit of contact, but a door-to-door contact between the two of them, and Luke Davies does get ahead. He's up to 9th into the points now. It's only 2 points, whereas Legend is scoring 14 as it stands. So that is a big point swing that Luke doesn't need, because he needs the big point swing. He needs to outscore Legend by 13. As it would stand, he would need Legend to be 10th and Luke to be 3rd, pretty much, as Vestigobati still right behind Alessandro Soretti. They're both trying to stave the battery now for a last lap shootout. We know Legend can win those ones. We know Avesta may not be able to win those ones based off last season. In towards turn number 3 though, they stay single file. Is Luke going to be able to get past Enzo King? Not on this occasion.
He's just going to make these moves work, especially as these tyres should be coming into their own now. But the issue is, like, Enzo King has got the perfect amount of ERS to just defend and keep Luke Davies behind, and especially with DRS as well. Take it for Kyle Albert, because let's face it, the two ahead of Luke Davies are very much have been around long enough to know every trick in the book. So an already impossible task just got even more impossible.
Sorry if you saw the wrong graphic we've put on screen there, folks. It may have clicked the wrong button. But Vestigobati is right behind Alessandro Soretti. Kyle Albert as well, you gotta remember, was a student. Look at this between Enzo and Luke. Kyle Albert, I was gonna say, is and is Enzo King. They are both students from the Juan Hernandez School of S-word housery, as Luke Davies is trying to get past Enzo King now, and trust me, Enzo won't make this easy. Luke is going to have to be brave. He is brave on the brakes, but he's forced to the outside. Gobadi does lead this race, but this is a really championship intriguing battle here for 9th spot.
Switch at the front.
Yep, Soretti gets back past once again.
Yes, Soretti having a very, very good debut, I must say. We've been focused on the championship, but this guy has been absolutely perfect out front. Has been overtaken once or twice, but he's always managed to get back, which is the main thing.
And Luke Davies wasn't able to get past Enzo King, quite crucially. He had a great run on the outside, but still was not able to get past the Austrian, which is really just demoralising for him at this point, because in 4 laps' time, as it stands, he will no longer be the defending champion.
That crown is slipping, and it's about to be falling into the hands of a certain Dutchman. But yeah, he's just gonna have to hope something happens. Looks like, and he's gonna get one thing. Enzo King has slipped up. He has almost lost in the exit, but seems like the straight line speed for Enzo King, very, very good.
Yeah, very good for Enzo. He's a man who has been known in the past to run some obscure setups. Clearly one on board that has here today, because he's very good in a straight line. Using that DRS from Kyle Albert. Kyle, probably the bane of Luke's life right now, because he is providing him with that DRS. And look at this from Julius Gassner. Look at Gassner trying it round the outside on the double world champion. Julius Gassner is really fighting well here today and having an absolute excellent race for himself. Fair play, Julius. I like to see that aggression. He doesn't care who's in front of him. He wants points. Points he's currently getting, but may have to keep battling for more.
Do you think Van Schendel is within his penalty window? So
oh, he is probably.
He'd want to actually, yeah.
I didn't consider that.
Yeah.
As up the front, sorry, I thought Vest was a lot closer than he was. Could still go for the race lead here. In terms of the battery, currently in the favour of the leader, Alessandro Soretti. But does Avesta really want to be second going on to the final lap? He went for an obscure lunge the last time round, That didn't really work out for him. Tim Den Hire, 2 tenths behind Conor Rochford, would get that spot anyways in a penalty count, and now you see them all bunching up, and that's Luke Davies. That is Luke Davies, who has been hit as he went for the move on Enzo King. He's now down to 10th, even lower than he was initially, but Enzo is behind him. Enzo also involved in that one. Zauber, I should say, does let Luke through, I think, and Luke Davies is up to 9th position, but it means absolutely nothing at this point in the race.
For Enzo, and that's probably been the main cause of it, I'd say.
Yeah, Enzo is down to 13th.
The victim of another disconnect. Yeah, it was really unfortunate for him. Happened at the start, happening now.
Yeah, it's a disappointing end to the home Grand Prix for Enzo King, who will not be able to take even a points finish. He did qualify very well, as what's Avesta doing here with Alessandro Serretti. And just look, has brought himself into the fight right at the perfect time. It is Legend Rosenberg. He's used a lot of his battery, but he's Legend. He knows how to go all elbows out at the best of times. We saw him and Davison on the last lap have an almighty elbows out scrap into Lagos. That could well happen between himself, Gobadi, and Alessandro Serretti at the top of this field. Borbune picking up another penalty. It's not looking good for Luke Davies. It's looking amazing for Red Bull Racing.
It's very much just been one of them races. Anything can go wrong, will go wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. We're heading in towards the Jochen Rindt curve for the final time, for the second final time, I should say. It is going to be Alessandro Serretti on debut, fighting with Gobadi, who's looking to take his first win of the season, fighting with Legend Rosenberg, who's looking to take his 4th FVR World Championship. Avesta Gobadi went for a move from second to win the Austrian Grand Prix last season, and he made a mess of it. Can he redeem himself and take his second win for Scuderia Ferrari? In towards turn number 3, Serretti is ahead. Rosenberg not close enough to get past the Scuderia Ferrari. Down in towards turn number 4. Has Gobadi got a better launch? Avesta did win in Monza this season, of course, as I forgot to say earlier. Here he goes! Oh, he's hit the back of Serretti! He's hit the back of Alessandro Serretti in towards turn number 3. Gobadi was expecting Alessandro to move, and he did not. The Swissman is coming round the final couple of corners here to try and win his first FVR race on debut. He's only got a couple more corners to do so. It's a 5/10 of a second gap. Alessandro Serretti is going to win the Austrian Grand Prix, but Legend Rosenberg, the undisputed, the greatest, the mighty, mighty Legend Rosenberg is a 4-time champion of the world. He is the greatest to ever grace FVR. He's confirmed it. He now holds the record once again for most FVR championships. It is 4 for Rosenberg.
Yep. Now it might be... Didn't get the win. It would have been the perfect way to do it, but a 3rd place from 15th. Seen worse drives to seal a title. I'd say Tim Den Hire didn't do too bad either, actually. P5.
He didn't do too bad, and of course we cannot neglect another champion here today, Red Bull Racing. Season 12 World Champions, Legend Rosenberg and Conor Rochford wrap up their Constructors' title as well. We've crowned 2 champions here in the Red Bull Ring. We've also seen the birth of a new FVR up-and-comer, Alessandro Serretti. He takes the Austrian Grand Prix win.
Good race. And imagine being able to win immediately on debut, pole win. Did he get fastest lap?
I'm not sure. There was a couple. He might have. No, Legend maybe might have got that one. I'm not too sure. We'll see it in the results after. We'll see it right now in the results. He did. He did take fastest lap. What a way to introduce yourself. Alessandro Serretti takes the race win here in Austria. Vesta Gobadi in 2nd, followed by Legend Rosenberg in 3rd. Then Nathan Marriott with a strong result in 4th. Tim Den Hire in 5th. Then it was Kyle Albert in 6th. Luke Davies does take 7th, so he fights back well nonetheless. Conor Rochford takes 8th. Then it is Boryoshi, Leroy Vicendel, Julius Gassner, Nari missing out on a point. Can Dulger, Habib Makuk. Then it is Enzo King, Adrian Tishy, and Borbune. Your non-finishers were Nils Hartl, Morris Stumer, and Liam Houseman. But Legend Rosenberg, He is a four-time champion. Delighted at that, I would say he is. Hopefully we do get to hear from him after the race, but Brendan, he really just dominated this season. There was no real answer.
Yeah. This season, he basically did everything like he did last year, plus the bit extra that he was missing. Like what you're looking at is you didn't have a Monaco style mistake where it's just a race win immediately evaporated. Maybe Saudi Arabia might have been the only non-score, but that was immaterial because everyone else also made mistakes. Luke Davies really did score in every race this season, the one win, but he just wasn't consistent enough to, or just nearly wasn't quick enough to fully take advantage of maybe one or two slip-ups Legend had. I think there's just not much you could do. Tyler probably wasn't able to win a race at some point and really push this title on, and obviously missing a race like today just put the final nail in the coffin.
Let's hear from the two champions today then, Legend Rosenberg and Connor Rochford. Legend, congratulations. It is your fourth championship. You came over the sort of disappointment of last season to take it in pretty dominant fashion. Please tell us you're happy with that one.
Yes, of course I'm happy. Was a bit of a hectic day for me plus the race, but I'm happy with the result, and not only for myself but as well for the team with Connor together to do it at the same moment as the drivers' championship is insane, and I'm very happy with it.
You had a bit of a difficult race today. Of course, you only joined qualifying late, but you had a great cut through the field. We don't get to ask Max Verstappen this, so we're going to ask you, is dominating from start to finish or cutting through the field to get a good result more enjoyable?
Um, Depends. Depends on your situation in the championship, really. Um, but no, I very much enjoyed it today. To cut through the field, fight a bit, and I don't know, be the one that, uh, yeah, pushes towards other cars rather than the other way around, trying to pull away from them. I think it's quite funny to be in that position for once, but I as well like it very much to just start and fall and win it. But yeah, I very much enjoyed today, and yeah, it makes it even more fun to win the title, of course. So I enjoyed it today.
What's been your favourite moment from this season then? What did you enjoy most?
I think there were a lot of good moments, but yeah, obviously I always like to drive a Monaco, but I think on the other hand it was maybe a pretty boring race. But maybe favorite moment was my home Grand Prix to win that. I think that was quite special, quite fun.
Brendan, any questions for Legend? Earth to Brendan, hello.
Sorry, I just had to take my headset off for a moment, so I didn't hear.
Oh no, apologies. Do you have any questions for Legend?
Not too many. I would just say, obviously now you've got 4 championships, but actually this is probably the first time in about 4 races that you haven't been overtaken by a Vested in the pit. So I think that's all I've got to say. Well done on that championship, and hopefully we see you back next season.
Maybe, but thank you. I'm not sure yet, but who knows?
Thank you very much, Legend. If you do want to stick around, we'll have a discussion with yourself and Connor about the constructors as well, because I know sometimes it can get overlooked a little bit in FVR and in other leagues, but it's still a difficult thing to win, and you boys won it in style. Connor, I know you were a split 2 driver technically by draft standards, but you have really exceeded the expectations of a lot. Was that a goal maybe for this season for you to just sort of impress everybody? Because I think you've done it.
Well, my goal was just to be consistent, to be honest. Um, which I feel I have been, but I've made too many mistakes at the same time. Like today, I got the 6 second penalty, which ruined where I finished. But I've had a few good races and a few bad races, so not a whole lot you can do as well.
And then winning the constructors, surely you got to be delighted with that because you and Legend have really been phenomenal from start to finish, and you've taken it in some style.
Yeah, I am fairly happy with it. But to be honest, I'd want to be pushing for what Legend is going for, but I'm just not quick enough, and hopefully the next game will change that. But yeah, good result, especially in my rookie season.
Brendan, from one coachy to another, have you any questions?
To, not really so much, but it's more the consistency you've had in results. I'd say it's been very impressive. Do you think, obviously, you'd be hoping that the next game would be maybe able to take that little extra step that would put you on to, let's say, podiums, potentially a race win? Or do you think maybe next week in Abu Dhabi might be something?
I'd be hoping I can get something next week in Abu Dhabi because, for my standards, if I don't think I get a podium this season, I won't class it as a good season. No, we've won constructors, but I want at least one podium. But I just haven't had the finishing basically to or the pace to keep up. But the next game, I have the bait, and it's not particularly my thing, I don't think.
I don't think the
Oh,
next
yeah,
game
is
is particularly anyone's thing going by the first test.
Yeah.
But Connor, thank you very much for joining us. Legend and Connor, whoever wants to answer it, have you any final words before leaving your crowning ceremony, I suppose?
Legend.
A man of many
Until
words,
next
Legend is, of
season.
course.
Until next season.
Hopefully I'll get a podium soon.
Lads, thank you very much for joining us. Greatly appreciate that. I think it's only fair we give another man a bit of an interview. Julius, hello, can you hear me? You are on mute as well, Zauber, by the way.
Wait! I have to put you on loud. My phone doesn't want to put it on loud.
Yeah, I know you weren't expecting this, hence why I've done it.
Yeah, I totally you caught me totally off guard. Wait. Now it. Yeah. Now I have it.
You were on pace with a two-time world champion today. Tell us about it.
Yeah. That was quite. I didn't think of having a pace with Luke. Like in the quali, we joked a little bit and said, yeah, I'm in front of Luke and Legend, and then the start was really shit, and suddenly I was fighting with Luke, and we catch the DRS train of them. So I was thinking, yeah, why don't I try that undercut? And suddenly I was in front of Luke, even though he already pitted, and then we had a heavy fight, like all the time. I pulled a little bit away with the newer tires, and then the safety car came out, and I knew Luke could catch me, but when I was like gaining on him and pulling away from him, I went like crazy. At one point it even was like so close that he wasn't even in my DRS anymore, and I was like my heart was beating like shit because I was in front of a two-time FVR champion and was matching his pace.
You have come on in leaps and bounds this season, Julius. I know you've been putting in a lot of work, but it's really coming through. Are you starting to think, you know what, I can start scoring consistent points soon?
Yeah, totally. After the Dutch race, I was thinking, yeah, it was because the track is really good for me, and because I have a lot of pace and trained a lot with Rapid. And then the Japan race came, and I was like, yeah, Japan is a really shit track for me, and I didn't train much for Japan. But suddenly in the race, first I did one lap before the race, before we went into the lobby, and I was like, yeah, I do one test lap, and it was so fast for me. Like I beat my personal record by 3 or 4 tenths, and then I went into the qualifying and qualified like really short to the top 10. And then in the race I had like the spin in the first and was like, yeah, my pace doesn't even match really good. I'm just keeping on. And when that last safety car came, I just realized that even on tracks that don't suit me, I can keep that pace. And today I went like into the Austria race like little bit of practice before it, and I smashed some times of me, and I wrote like with Tim and asked him, yeah, do you think that time is good? And he said, surely this time is decent. And then when the qualifying was, I invalidated, and then I did my fun wet stuff with the donuts and those things. And then the race came, and I knew I can match my pace and get my pace going, and I certainly did, and I'm so glad I can do that. And I definitely want to score all the time points and will be a consistent point scorer. My goal at the start of the season was that I want the improvement award at the end of the season, and like mid-season I was thinking, yeah, I can't get it and those things. And then after the Netherlands race, Luke wrote me, you are so fast, you can, like, if you improve more, you can fight for points all the time. And then I wrote him like fun, do you think I can win that award? And Luke said, yeah, definitely, if surely thinks if I improve the last race, I'm a contender for the award.
Thank you very much, Julius, for that interview. One quick thing. What were the donuts for?
uh, the plan when I went onto the intermediates, I did like 2 laps, and then I was bored, and I wanted first to drive backwards, but Wester told me, don't do that, you might get disqualified. And then the question came from Evan or from the game, and Wester said from Evan, and I said, oh fuck. And went into the front. And then I asked Wester if I can do donuts, and he said Liam did them sometimes, so I can do them. And then I thought, yeah, I do some donuts or drive backwards or those things, because it's raining anyways, and the track is too wet for one last shot, for one last lap. So I thought, yeah, some donuts or those things, and maybe you see me doing donuts, and then you have a little laugh.
We saw you doing donuts for about 5 minutes, to be perfectly honest, and then reversing down the track, and then Kyle having sort of a head-to-head with you. But Zabra, thank you very much for joining us. Greatly appreciate that, and we do hope we hear from you either in the last race or sometime next season.
Yeah, next season you will definitely hear me when I stand on the podium.
So, folks, that is all we do have time for here at the Red Bull Ring. Brendan, any final words?
I'd say very good season. I'd say once again, Legend Legend, and that Drivers' Championship also to him and Connor and the constructors. Very good season from both of them, and obviously managing to wrap it up with a race to go. It's not the first time Legend's done that, but yeah, I'd say well done to them. Very good season. Hopefully next season though, new game could be very, very good.
Yes, folks, we should hopefully have some fantastic stuff coming up for you soon. Keep an eye on all our socials. Make sure you go follow them and check out our sponsors. But from myself and Brendan and Zauber and Connor Legend, thank you very much for watching. Stay safe, stay well, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.